R1 product was failed in the market, and we discussed that SAP ECC, it was introduced in the year 1993. It is also known as R3. Mm, the latest SAP ECC is EHP EHP 6.0. Oh, sorry. EHP. No. In 2006, SAP ECC 6.0 has came, where in the latest one is has came in 2016 EHP 8, which is the latest ECC product of SAP. But ECC doesn't have their own database, so the next new product which the SAP has introduced is SAP S4 HANA, which has its own database.
Okay, from when S4 HANA has now started selling license?
2015, sir.
Very good. Okay, what is mean by EHP?
No, sir, I don't know.
Enhancement package. So in their versions, every year they'll introduce something, right?
Yes, sir.
So they named it as EHP. EHP in a sense, EHP 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 was the last in 2016. 2015, they got a SAP S4 HANA, then they stopped investing research and development on ECC. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so ECC will be outdated by 2027. Okay,
Yes, sir.
from there only you have SAP S4 HANA. Functionalities wise and major changes are three things in SAP S4 HANA. The major first thing is database, that is HANA database, right? Which
Yes,
is
sir.
HANA, and GUI, graphical user interface, interaction and accessibility of SAP application with the tabs and mobiles also possible. So that is nothing but Fiori, web-based. Fiori in a sense, web-based. Web-based in a sense, if you want to log into Gmail, you just type the Gmail URL, right? In a
Yes, sir.
web here, in a Google Chrome, whatever you use, and you type the URL you want to access, let's say Facebook, Instagram, maybe to understand simple, right?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, you can access SAP in a web browser, and the feel is different. You don't feel like you are working in a one software application. You feel like you are browsing something in the internet. Okay,
Yes, sir.
look and feel is different, and there are analytical things. We'll talk later. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Next is simplified processes, not only on a database and not only on a graphical user interface, and also they simplified the existing in ECC. What are the existing problems or issues they have in individual modules? Let's say in F5 we have some issues in ECC. In controlling we have likewise in material management we have some other modules also. There are some issues, and make it more easier to bring the transparency in that areas. They've also done some functionality enhancements also in this package, that we call it as simplified processes. What is mean by SAP, S4 HANA? What is the meaning of yes? It is a simplified, right?
Yes, sir.
Four in a sense, fourth generation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Next. So how will be your corporate process if you join in a job? How it will be? I told you, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember anything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just tell me.
Um, First we'll give the resume, and
Hmm.
then they will give for us some free time in the beginning, like 10 days to 1 week, like that.
Okay.
to understand the company, their policies.
Okay.
Then
What?
later, then they'll give us the work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So first thing is, if you join any MNC, okay, we
Yes, sir.
call it as IT providers in the market. These all are IT providers, okay.
Yes, sir.
There are many, but these are main, okay.
Yes, sir.
So immediately what happens is, if you join an MNC, then next step you have to complete completely read their policies and procedures. We call it as mandatory courses. Okay,
Yes, sir.
maybe 10 or 15 working days. You have to clear them also as well. There will be a small assessment. You have to clear them and you have to pass also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So in between, you have to attend for project interviews, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you select any of the project, not if you, definitely you select post, you select for so and so project, okay.
Yes, sir.
Here, if you, let's say if you join in any MNC, for example, maybe you join in L&T. You know L&T?
No, sir.
Okay. Which company you know? Which company you like?
Tata.
TCS. Okay. Okay. You join in TCS. You read TCS policies and everything, and you completed all the trainings. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So TCS holds a project. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Project interview. TCS holds GMR constructions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Project. So you give an interview and you selected for a GMR constructions. So before that, once you join in a TCS, you will get a access to TCS portal, TCS access, everything. In a sense, what all applications they are using in TCS. Let's say once you join in a company, every week you have to submit your hours. Hours in a sense, attendance kind of thing. Daily 8 hours you have to submit in TCS. Attendance portal will be there, and to read a policies there will be one more portal. We call it as intranet access. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you get TCS intranet access to uh, get into their domain. So, and also you will get an email ID from TCS. So maybe even if your name is Sneha, whatever, right? Right? Sneha at the rate of tcs.com. If you have any second name, including that, maybe if it is mine, krishna.nalajala at the rate tcs.com. I'll get the email ID also created and I'll get the employee ID also created. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'll have a passwords also shared separately. You never share your passwords to anybody else. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You should not share. If you share it, so you should not share and all, you learn here. When you are reading a mandatory policies, you get to know password is your thing. You should not share to anybody. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you share to anybody, next day you are out from a job. Everything will be tracked. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you get a TCS email ID, you access a Outlook. Outlook is nothing but like your Gmail inbox, okay?
Yes, sir.
So with the TCS communication, all emails, what is happening in TCS, you get everyday mails, okay?
Yes, sir.
So that is what you've done. Then once you complete the project interview, okay?
Yes, sir.
Once you complete the project interview, now you selected for the GMR project, right?
Yes, sir.
You will get an access to GMR intranet separately, right?
Yes, sir.
GMR intranet is separately, and there also you will have to complete the all mandatory courses related to the client. We call GMR as a client now, right?
Yes, sir.
Because for you are a TCS employee, GMR is a contractor or a client to your TCS, so you call him as a client. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you complete it. This process we call it as onboarding. What is mean by it? They'll
Onboarding.
onboard you to the GMR construction project. Okay, they'll give all the accesses. That is mean onboarding, right?
Yes, sir.
Here, once you join here in a TCL, this process also we call it as onboarding. This terminology you have to remember. Once you left the job, that we call it as offboarding. Okay.
Yes,
If
sir.
you got a nice job in another company, you resign it, right?
Yes, sir.
That time we call it as offboarding, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you got the client and the client mandatory courses also you completed and onboarding is done. Now, to start off with your work, you should know what kind of business GMR Construction is doing, right?
Yes, sir.
And they buy a SAP product, maybe they're using SAP ECC, maybe they want to go to SAP S4 HANA now, right? Because of 27, no more SAP ECC, right?
Yes, sir.
So, if you join in GMR construction, do you think as alone can you do everything for a GMR construction?
No, sir.
No, right? There will be a project and there will be deadlines. Everywhere there will be deadlines, right?
Yes,
In
sir.
academics, you have to read, you have to study this many months and you have to go for an assessment or an exam in a so and so month, right? There will be semesters. Everywhere there is a timeline, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the timeline we call it as a project tenure or a project period. So, the agreement between GMR, right? GMC Rota.
Yes, sir.
Sure. C in a sense, construction I'm thinking. GMRC. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it right anywhere else? Here also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, timeline will be there, right?
Yes, sir.
That we call it as a project tenure. The contract, the timelines agreed between a TCS and GMR Construction. TCS told, okay, we'll implement you the project in a 1 year, 12 months period, we'll implement you. Until 12 months, they'll run their business in a current existing ERP application. Maybe they are using Oracle now. They'll continue using Oracle next 12 months. After 12 months, they stop using Oracle. They'll inform to the Oracle ERP partner also. Will not renew after 12 months because we've already bought the license from SAP S4 HANA. We are implementing with one of IT partner TCS. So they'll have to inform them also, right?
Yes, sir.
They'll inform. This 12 months, 1 year, we call it as a project tenure. And this project tenure, you have to plan your work accordingly and you have to complete. But as a beginner, as little senior level, you don't have that much insight from a project management side. You don't need to worry. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there will be a team, there will be a structured team. You will be part of a team that you need to understand. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see how the team will be formed. So the project tenure would be 12 months. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, let's say the team. In a team, we have one project manager, right?
Yes, sir.
What he'll do? He'll do nothing. Nothing in a sense. He is a middle person between your TCS and GMR construction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In TCS, how many employees are working for this project? He has to monitor every day. Monitor every day in the sense, what are you planning to do today? In the morning, he'll ask. And in the end of the day, he'll ask, what have you done so far? What is the progress? Are we on a timelines? Are we delaying anything? So he has to understand from a TCS employees and he has to update the same to the client, right?
Yes, sir.
Without informing the client doesn't know what is happening inside a project, whether it is going good or bad or what, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to do the implementation, to do your work also, there is a process. First, let's see how project will be built, how the team will be built. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In SAP, there are two categories. Okay. One is functional modules, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the functional modules? FI, CO, MM, SD, HCM, then PS, then PP, then there are many modules. These are fine. What is mean by FI?
Financial information.
Okay, what is mean by CO?
Control.
Controlling or a management accounting. Okay, what is MM?
Material management.
Okay, what is SD?
Sales and distribution.
Okay, what is SCM?
Human capital management.
Human capital management. What is PS?
Product system.
Project
Project
system.
system.
What is PP?
Production.
And planning. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So why do we call them as a functional modules? I've already told. What is the reason?
Because they
Hmm.
are main, like within.
Hmm.
Uh,
So ERP is doesn't matter. Functional things will be live everywhere. In any ERP application you go, they have a accounting, they have a controlling, they have a materials, they have a sales, they have a HCM, human capital management, people they need, they have a project systems, they have a production and planning, they need a production, how they have to monitor that ERP application, right?
yes, sir.
ERP application can be anything, but functional knowledge is unique. You know debit and credit, you know vendor, you know customer, right? You know
Yes,
profit
sir.
and loss account, you know balance sheet. Okay,
Yes, sir.
this is a functional stuff. You go any ERP application, there also it will be there. Okay,
Yes,
but
sir.
only the difference is how this process works in SAP. You are learning. That's all. You are fit to learn other ERP applications also because you are passionate enough in your functional module, right?
Yes, sir.
You know FI well, you know controlling well, so you are learning FI and CO. If I am well enough with the material side, if I am interested, I can learn material side any ERP application. Okay, there is
Yes,
no
sir.
limit. You can learn as many as ERP applications also. But we'll choose the best one in a market and we stick to one only, right?
Yes, sir.
Next time you don't forget what is mean by functional model. Why do we call them as a functional models, right?
Yes, sir.
Functional knowledge should be there with you. That's all. Okay. Now coming to the technical module. So one is ABAP, program related. The other one is basis. This is admin. Okay. In SAP software, SAP application, there is a category of functional modules. Business, like your client, how many modules he is activating, how many modules he need for his business. He'll select these modules. Okay. That is his selection. So, irrespective of this functional models, you mandatorily have to have this technical models. Technical models in a sense, SAP is an application which runs with a ABAP program. So you know Java.
Yes, sir.
Java is what? It's a kind of a program, right?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, SAP will work on a ABAP program. Every action in a FI, whatever happens in all these functional modules, not only one functional module, to do anything in SAP, whatever action you do in SAP application, in a back end, there is a ABAP program. Got it?
Yes, sir.
For these many modules, if anybody has any issue with the program related, we are not here to write any code. Got it?
Yes, sir.
We are here to enable the functionality to the business or a client in a SAP application. If at all we get anything is not working in terms of program, to help us out, we need a ABAPer, right?
Yes, sir.
So ABAP is a program and we call him as a ABAPer. Who works in ABAP team? They are the ABAPers. They are program related people. They have to write a program coding, they have to write. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And next, somebody should be there to install a SAP application. Application installation in a sense, every application has its own little administration, right?
Yes, sir.
Administration in a sense, every application need a operating system, right?
Yes, sir.
Windows or a Linux, whatever, any application. So you might be using many applications in your mobile, right?
Yes, sir.
So in their own setup, every application need a operating system. Otherwise, they'll not perform, they'll not work. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, SAP also need a administrator, one person to take care of application installation stuff, not a functionality, right?
Yes, sir.
It means, hey, activate FI module. FI module activate in a sense, in application he has to activate. Who will activate? Who takes care of SAP application? Admin, he'll activate, right?
Yes, sir.
So he'll take care of a RAM in a sense, random access memory, right?
Yes, sir.
So based on the system, speed will be monitored. Somebody has to connect our SAP application to the database, our database. It could be HANA database. If it is a ECC, some third party database, somebody has to connect it and monitor it, right?
Yes, sir.
To the servers and everything. Who will take care? Basis consultant will take care. Let's say you have a printer, you want to connect your SAP application to the printer because you want to print some reports from a SAP application. Who will connect? Basis consultant will connect because he is the admin for SAP application. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So you need to understand clearly who is doing what in a reality. You are not alone. You have other team members, other functional team members, and technical team members also. There is a ABAP team, there is a basis team. You should know based on a concern or a issue whom to ask rightly. If you are getting some program related issue, you should not go and ask material management consultant. And you should not say your project manager, I don't know what to do, some program error is coming. These are the basic things. If a program error is coming, by default you should know program is related to ABAP. I should inform ABAP team. Got it?
Yes, sir.
If system is very slow, system is not performing well, maybe you could not able to print something, maybe the load process is taking too much time and it's not at all moving. There are many things related to this also. That when you try to log into SAP system, it's not at all opening. Why it is not opening? SAP application might be having some issue with the server connectivity. Who will take care of it? Admin will take care of it, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to inform, hey, I'm not able to log into SAP system. You have to check it. Then this knowledge you should have. Let's say you have some material management issue. So somebody is asking you to fix it. Then you should know, hey, boss, I am not responsible. Please contact material management team, right?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, somebody says, I my PF or my salary is not coming correctly. My statutory is cutting, no, deducting more and more. Whom to contact? You should not help him out, right?
Yes, sir.
HCM people has to inform, right?
Yes, sir.
And production related, some production, some routing, some manufacturing, some activities are not happening rightly in the production side. You have to inform PP consultant, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, so this is a 12 months contract. Okay, we have to implement SAP application to let's say our GMR construction client. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so GMR construction is a client. He said he want these many functional modules, and by default, these are the technical modules. There are many modules. He don't want other modules. Why? Whatever modules are used for his business, that many modules are fine, right? Why you need to activate other modules which are not needed really, right?
Yes, sir.
He'll not activate. So let's see, looking at the scope, okay, people will high level people will what they'll do, they'll just estimate the work. Okay, how much volume we need to configure or activate for a GMR construction. If I am a senior, I know how many people are needed for this project, right?
Yes, sir.
So likewise, in every project, there will be one team lead. Okay, every module, there will be one team lead, one TL. He'll decide how many consultants he need to support him. Maybe in FI need two people. One is a team lead and two are the consultants. In a sense, junior level down to the team lead. In controlling also, I need one team lead and two consultants I need. In MM also same. I need one team lead and the two consultants. SD also I need one team lead, two consultants. In HCM, I can manage with one TL. I don't want any other consultants. In project system also, I can manage with one team lead, one senior person. Production, I need one team lead and one consultant. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is how the estimates will be. Consultants. This is how it will be. Don't get confused why we have a one team lead separately for FI and one disabled. If you think like that, you can delete one team lead, and for this we need four consultants together. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so let's merge it. That is fine. One team lead, and we need a four consultants because this is a huge model. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, okay. So next thing is we need one team lead for ABAP, okay,
Yes, sir.
and he need two consultants. Base is he need one team lead, one consultant. Done, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's say in FICO, how many members are there?
Four,
FI,
five,
5. In MM,
three,
in SD,
three,
in HCM,
one,
in PS,
one,
in PP,
two,
in ABAP,
three,
in basis,
two.
project manager is 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's see if you tie everybody, what is your team size? Total you have 21 team members, right?
Yes, sir.
Size we call it as. And once you join here, onboarding is done. After that, you should know your team members, right? You have to interact. Maybe you join little late, I've joined little early to the project. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Maybe the project is 12 months. Maybe you joined in a first month itself. Initially only you joined. Maybe you joined after a month. Maybe after 2 months, after 3 months. We don't know, right?
Yes, sir.
Situation. But whenever you join in a project, you need an introduction to the team, right?
Yes, sir.
You need to interact with the team. Team has to interact with you. At least they have to welcome you, right?
Yes, sir.
What project manager will do is he'll set up a introduction meeting. Okay. He'll
Yes, sir.
introduce you to the team. Project manager will introduce to your team and the whole team. Your team in a sense, FICO team. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Whole team in a sense to everybody. These 21 people should know you, and you also should know them, because based on a concern you have to reach to the right people, right?
Yes, sir.
You cannot manage all the work by you. There is a dependency. That is where you need to understand everybody has to align. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Then it will be like a normal discussion only. 1 hour, 2 hour call he'll set up initially, and we talk each other. How many years of experience you have, before where you worked. You have to explain everything. Okay, everything in a
Yes, sir.
sense simple and sweet. Okay, no need to worry. So that they'll understand, oh, this much experience this person has. Okay, we are good. Okay, then slowly what happens? You will get a SAP system access. To work in a project in SAP, first you need SAP system access, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm. SAP system access in a sense, who will give the SAP system access?
SAP.
From a SAP GM construction, both the license, okay, application, everything is ready, installation is done. Looking at your team, who will give the access? Under whom the access will be controlled?
Admin.
Admin. What is his module?
Basis.
Ah, you will get a SAP system access for uh, related to your functional module. Okay, so they'll not give whole access to you. You don't have whole authorization to you. Remember, how much is needed for FICO consultant, that much only they'll give you They'll enable you a job role or a authorization role. They'll not give you access. They'll not give you other module accesses. Why they'll not give you?
Because we are allotted only for that module, no, sir?
Correct. If you have a more access, what you do? You go and you do some experiments, right?
Yes, sir.
You just read it in a Google and you change something and you do. Nobody knows, right? Until they check again.
Yes, sir.
It's a time waste, right?
Yes, sir.
And also to give a differentiation, they'll give a based on their job roles, they'll have a access. How much access you need, that much only they'll give you, right?
Yes, sir.
Based on a role. Okay, now you got everything access and ready. Now next thing is what you will do in FICO area. What is needed for GMR construction? You go on. You have to start configuring or developing a system. SAP application, whatever GMR construction by, that is a raw application, right?
Yes, sir.
Raw in a sense, simply if you download any application, that will not work immediately. It requires some administrative work, some registration, something you need to do, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to customize it based on your need, then it will function for you. Likewise, SAP application buying from a SAP directly, it won't work for your business. It has to be configured based on your business requirement. It has to be enabled. We have a 12 months to enable it for your business now. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This we call it as a implementation period, or a it's a tenure, project tenure we call it as, right?
Yes, sir.
There will be phases also. We'll work on phases by phases. Okay, good. Everything team you know, and introduction is done. You got the SAP access. Then you are good to do the configuration in a SAP system. Then what you think you will do next?
Mm, we'll start
Hmm.
using the system,
Hmm. Okay.
recording the transactions like that. Like financial information, we will try to get
So you are a
from.
consultant, right?
Yes, sir.
Will you record the financial transactions?
Not recording, sir.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm. Then.
financial information, we have to gather from
Hmm.
GMR
Financial
constructions.
information we have to gather from.
GMR constructions
Why we need to gather
to form a software application.
from a software application, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else you have?
Control.
Okay. Right. You said right. So simply you have access. You cannot go on. You cannot configure whatever you learned and whatever you know, right?
Yes, sir.
You need what is needed for a GMR construction, right?
Yes, sir.
In a sense, your client what exactly he needed, what kind of business he is doing, how he is managing currently in a existing Oracle ERP system. If he is using Oracle in current ERP system, how he is doing, what he is liking more, what he is not liking, maybe what he is expecting more from an Oracle, which is not there, what he want in a SAP system. You should know everything, right?
Yes, sir.
How you get to know it? By talking to him, right?
Yes, sir.
By talking to GMR construction side project team. They also should have a project team, right?
Yes, sir.
Because we don't know their business. Who knows GMR construction business? Well, they have to help us. They have to give us the requirement, right?
Yes, sir.
They have to tell what is needed until we cannot configure it, right?
Yes, sir.
So then in this phase, what happens is this step. Project manager, PM in the sense project manager will arrange the project kickoff meeting with business respective spokes. What he'll do, project manager will set up a meeting including his 21 team members, and he'll also add GMR construction will give from client side we are giving these 5 resources, maybe these 10 resources. They are the seniors, one from a accounting department, one from a tax, one from a controlling side, one from a HR side, one from a material management, one from a sales and distribution, one from a production side. All functional related people are this many people, and we have a technical team also. He is a good at ABAP. You talk to him, program related. This guy is related to admin. You talk to him. He'll give, let's say, 10 names. So what project manager will add? He'll add that 10 people from a GMR construction side, and he'll also add his team, 21 members. And to interact with, first we need to interact, right, with the client people also.
Yes, sir.
They should know who are you, and you should know who are they, right?
Yes, sir.
How many years experience they have, since how many years they are working in GMR constructions, which module they support. You should know. Likewise, from IT side, TCS side, you are belongs to which team, what you are going to do in a coming time. They should know, right?
Yes, sir.
It's an introduction to your client and you, that we call it as a kickoff meeting, and also we call project kickoff meeting. Okay,
Yes, sir.
we start the kick on matter. So then everything is ready. This will be a lengthy call. You get to know maybe 2 months. Sorry, 2 hours. It will be lengthy. Then once the call is over, you know who is who, right?
Yes, sir.
Then tell me, FICO consultants will note down. Okay, finance side whose name will come will note down his name, right?
Yes, sir.
And account controlling side whose name will come, taxation side who will come, we'll note down all these names, and we don't bother about other people. Let's say material management side, who is a spoke from a client, this guy has to note down, right? This team
Yes,
leader
sir.
has to note down. So we know our relative persons from a business. Next day onwards, what we do? Next day onwards, every module members will connect with the GMR construction, right? Business spoke to get the, got it?
Yes, sir.
From next day onwards, we no need to have everybody in one call. We can divide into different meetings. FI consultant, FI consultants and team lead with the FI finance related, controlling related business people will have a separate call.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, MM team will have a separate call with the MM client person. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
why we need to have these separate calls? We need to talk to them and we need to get the requirements from them, right?
Yes, sir.
So they'll likewise only will have a meetings. Maybe sometimes we go to the directly GMR construction office, client location will go. Maybe if you're good, lucky enough, if you got any project in a US, if they ask you to come, maybe you can go to on-site also. Okay?
Yes,
In
sir.
client place, you can go and you can sit there. You can talk to him directly. You can gather the requirements. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Whatever he is telling, you just listen and come. Will that work? In
No,
this
sir.
phase, what you have to do? You have to start noting down what he is giving as a requirement, right?
Yes, sir.
You have to list down the points, maybe in Word file, maybe you note down first in any notebook, later you draft it in a one document, right?
Yes, sir.
That we call it as a business blueprint or a requirement document. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So with the continuation discussion, the business, we will get the all the requirements. We prepare a blueprint document or a requirement document. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Mm, okay. We'll note down everything, but whatever I'm telling, you're writing down. Whether you are understanding my business correctly or wrong, how would I know as a GMR construction? If you ask me to review the document you prepared, then only I get to know, right?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I'm whatever I'm telling, maybe same way you cannot understand. Once you write down and give it to me, then I can correct it, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatever business requirement we capture, we'll write down in a document and will present to the client for his review and approval. Why he has to review and approve?
Pick, to see if what we wrote is correct or not.
And also,
Our
once you
understanding
uh,
level.
as an audit purpose also, it has to be documented, right?
Yes, sir.
If you send him, he'll review. Maybe if we say any corrections are there, we modify it. We'll send again for his review and approval. He'll review and approve that document. That is a audit evidence. Later, after 3 months or 4 months, after completing all the development you've done, he should not say, "Hey, I didn't ask you to do this," right? If you
Yes, sir.
say, "Why you did this? I have not asked you," we can open his approval email and we can show him, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a safe side. It's a control point. We call it as a audit control point, right?
Yes, sir.
And also, while you are taking the requirements, maybe he says some kind of tax report he want. Maybe he want a withholding tax report. In India, he want like this, like this. Some format will be there. Okay. So by talking to the client, senior person get to know whatever he is asking, how many requirements he is asking. So out of how many are already available in SAP? Some functionalities I am expecting may not be available in SAP system, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right, right?
Yes, sir.
Definitely it will be there. If client asks 10 functionalities, 10 processes he want, out of 10, maybe 1 point SAP cannot delivered. SAP don't have that functionality enabled, right?
Yes, sir.
Whatever is possible with SAP, that we can do it. Whatever is not possible, okay, but still client is asking, but we cannot implement that or enable that immediately. That we call it as a gaps. Interview they'll ask, what are the gaps you identified in your implementation project? How you have done these gaps? How you fulfill these gaps? They'll ask, okay.
Yes, sir.
Gaps, we can do it. That I'll tell you. Gaps, we have to notify unlisted. Means the requirements which are not fulfilled with standard SAP functionality. So whatever he is asking, that functionality is not available default in a SAP product. Okay. That can be a FI
Yes, sir.
related, that can be a CO related, that can be MM. All functional modules will have a bunch of gaps which are not fulfilled. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So After writing all the business blueprint, what we do, we will send the blueprint document for business review and approval, right?
Yes, sir.
He'll review and he'll approve, then we start building it. So one more thing is why they need a blueprint is you are not permanent to GMR construction, right? You are
Yes, sir.
only here to work 12 months. After 12 months, you go to another client and you work, right? But from
Yes, sir.
there, GMR construction has to manage their application for a lifelong, right?
Yes, sir.
If somebody comes and somebody joins in GMR construction to support his SAP application, how we can understand his application easily? Again, by seeing this blueprint document only, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason everywhere in organizations, documentation is very priority. Why? You are not permanent to a business. You can leave a job immediately also, right? So if you
Yes,
leave
sir.
the job, business should not stop, right? Business has to run. How the business will run? By seeing all the documents, referring. Everyone can easily do it, right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe initially 1 hour, 2 hours delay, but it will not stop, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you have all the requirements and you are good to do the configuration. You have a SAP Access also you got, right?
Yes.
Then there should be one implementation method you need, right? One approach you need to follow, right?
Yes, sir.
So to do implementation in SAP S4 HANA, we have a activate methodology. What is it? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
I guess you are a little distracted. What
No,
happened?
sir.
Huh?
Actually, here your voice is breaking in between, sir.
My voice is
Network.
breaking.
I think it's my issue only here. It showed a notification that my network is so weak.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, activate methodology in a sense, SAP itself told, hey, if you want to implement SAP S4 HANA for your business, follow this activate methodology process step by step. You follow this, then you will have a success rate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In SAP ECC, they have a implementation methodology is SF methodology. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This was there in SAP ECC, but you will not have a chance to do anything on here. Why?
Because we are seeing SAP for HANA. S4 HANA.
S4 HANA, and already you are in 2023. If you are in maybe 2010, then that time you would have a chance to implement SAP ECC with SF methodology, right?
Yes, sir.
There is now no chance. Your career starts with activate methodology only. You don't know what is SF methodology, you no need to worry. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
But as a definition, what is there in SF methodology, I'll tell you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here the first thing is project preparation will be there. Whatever we did, project preparation, we have a teams and we know who is who, everything initial, how many team members are needed, what is the duration of a project, everything we call it as a project preparation, right?
Yes, sir.
So here basically scope finalization, team finalization, okay.
Yes,
Then
sir.
project kickoff will be there, and we call it as a charter. Charter in a sense, we create a one diagram. Who is a project manager, under who is how many team leads are there, everything. And December what we started, in January what we start. what we complete, everything we note down. Okay, that we
Yes,
call it
sir.
as a charter. The second one is business blueprint. What is mean by business blueprint? We understand from business what is their as is process, right?
Yes, sir.
As is process in a sense, how currently they are doing their business in an existing ERP application. Whatever business transactions, how many vendor payments they do, how many customer receipts they do, how they generate a customer invoice, how they generate a tax, everything in a current process, how everything working, we should understand first. As is process, we call it as. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Based on a as is process, we prepare to be processed in a SAP. That was in old system, right? To
Yes,
be
sir.
processed in SAP. We prepare a document. నీది అలా ఉండేది process. Your process will be like that. In SAP, it will be like this. Okay. And also, we identify gaps, right?
Yes, sir.
Gaps also we identify gaps in a sense which are not available in standard SAP. SAP application cannot help the business with that specific requirements. We call it as a gaps. Then what is the other thing is realization. Realization in the sense whatever you take in a requirement, whatever you build, if business is okay. In this phase, third phase, GMR construction can see all this work we have done and they'll realize whether still they want to go for a SAP implementation further or they don't want to do SAP implementation. They quit. It will not happen, okay? If
Yes,
I
sir.
committed to have a SAP application, I'll go with a SAP application only. But in this phase, whatever discussions happen, whatever you configured, in realization phase only, business will see in a system. If we don't configure, they'll not see it, right?
Yes, sir.
They'll just see the system. After that, the next step is final preparation. So, in final preparation, what happens? They'll thoroughly test our functionalities. Whatever you configure, business will test. There are other teams who will also test, that will check later. The final step is go live and support. Go live in a sense, 12 months are done. 13th month, first day, all changes are live and the business is started using SAP application. From there, they'll not use Oracle application. Got it?
Yes, sir.
These were the 5 stages in SF methodology. This is a process you need to follow to implement an SAP application. Okay, that was old fashioned. Now here there are problems here. Okay, what are the
Yes, sir.
problems here in SAP methodology is the duration of a SF methodology was too long. Okay, maybe 2 years, 1.5 year. So there was no clarity also. Clarity in a sense who is doing what and how it is going. To monitor it, it's very difficult in SF methodology. Okay, that everybody knows in the market
Yes,
also.
sir.
Still, there is no option. Okay, because SAP before they sending a product, they're selling a product, they'll do some mock implementation, right? How better they can do
Yes,
a
sir.
implementation. They done this with this many phases, and with this approach, they were told it's successful implementation. Then obviously, who will buy the SAP ECC application? They use the same phases, they use the same steps, and they've also completed the implementation. The main drawback here is okay
Yes, sir.
until realization. business won't be able to see the SAP application. They'll not see visual. They cannot see it. Every day they'll listen about SAP. That's all.
Yes, sir.
So all of sudden, realization phase, they'll see the SAP application. Okay, they'll test it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so project preparation maybe takes 1 month. Okay, business requirements gathering, it is a heavy work. It will take 2 months. Okay,
Yes,
then
sir.
realization will come after 3 months, right?
Yes, sir.
After 3 months, you're coming and seeing in a system, and here you have to take a call whether you want to go for SAP or no. Is it a worthy doing it? Is this a right process?
No, sir.
No, right? Very difficult for business also. What the crap? Why I told something else? These guys are doing something else. There will be a lot of clashes, discussions will happen in this realization phase. Okay,
Yes, sir.
we have to patiently handle the client. No, no, no. We have to tell them no. This will be like this only. So this is a big headache phase in realization. If realization say no, whatever efforts we did gone, and no, there is no further implementation, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a loss for them only. For a client only, it's a loss. All the investment and everything is lost, right?
Yes, sir.
They'll go definitely yes only, but this is a main problem. Okay. But in
Yes, sir.
activate methodology, it will be not like that. The other way around. First only will show the SAP application to the business. Okay, you want 10 functionalities. I understood. Let me show you what is readily available in SAP system. Let's say I have 8 functionalities already available. I show you directly system in a first only. Okay, so
Yes,
that they'll feel it how the SAP application working. They know the screens. They know the functionality. They'll be happy, right?
yes, sir.
And also in SAP S4 HANA, looking at the business requirements, he'll configure and give you the license. Configure and give you in a sense, we call it as a pre-configuration system, kind of a demo. Already you no need to do, you know SAP, that is fine. In SAP ECC, you have to configure everything and you have to simulate, you have to show the results to the business. But in SAP S/4HANA, to reduce the timelines and save a time, they'll only configure something and they'll give you for you to show to the client. It will save your time, right?
Yes, sir.
That is a big advantage. Here we have some steps. I'll just note down. We'll continue tomorrow. Before coming to the tomorrow's class, you just go over what is SAP ECC, SF methodology, what is the activate methodology. You just read out the differences, maybe 10 or 20 minutes and come back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I'll write tomorrow these steps also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll share this video also. Yesterday's video I've shared. You just go through whenever you get a time.
Yes, sir.